What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video today. So today we're gonna chat a bit about the CP9 chassis and the CN chassis, and talk a little bit about roll bars, roll cages today. So back in the day, circa 2016, 2017, I was doing a lot of racing, tarmac stuff, hill climb, circuit, using the CN and CP chassis up here in Canada. Basically, what's required if you're doing any sort of serious racing is a welded in roll bar. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cage. For a lot of sanctioning bodies, they're okay with what would be referred to as a 6-point bar. And so when I was doing a lot of racing, I modified quite a few CN and CP chassis for passing tech in hill climb and circuit racing. And so today I wanted to show you guys a video that I had sent around 2017 to a sanctioning body, just going over a roll bar in my car and kind of going over the kind of specs that are required to pass something like that in an Evo 456. I just wanted to go over some of the roll bar specs with you quick, so that you know what we're coming to BC with. We've got two cars that are going to be built the same. So we have one roll bar here completed, and before I do the second one, I just wanted to make sure that all this stuff makes sense. So just going over the rolls here, we're using 1.75 by 0.120 DOM tubing, and it's the 1026 grade, I believe. So that's a little bit thicker than needed, but I just wanted to make sure if the car moved to a different class that we'd be able to grow without having to cut this roll bar out. So just starting here at the driver's side, we have the main hoop here. The hoop is positioned with the 10-inch rule behind the helmet in mind, so I think it's about 7 or 8 inches. We have the bar is going to be with the headliner reinstalled. It'll be at least 2 inches above the helmet line. We drilled an inspection hole. All the tubes are welded around the complete. We were able to go right around. They are gusseted anyway, so if you look under here where you have a gusset per tube on either side, and then fastened to the chassis, we're going to be using 1/8 metal, and it's boxed in, and 1/8 down here as well. It's going to be 20 square inches, and as well we put an additional inch on the rocker here, which is, I guess, optional in the rules, but it's a good idea. So we basically have an L-shaped plate there. Then we have gussets here. The gussets are 1/8 inch plate welded to the B-pillar as well as the main hoop. And if you look here, we've got our single diagonal running from directly above where the driver's head would be, down to the corner. Then we have a harness bar as well across here. And let's see, am I missing anything? Yeah, so this distance, this angle from this bar to the main hoop, I guess the minimum was 35 degrees. This one sits somewhere between 42 and 45 degrees, so it should be the proper angle as well. And then all of this is welded with a Miller 211 MIG with shielding gas at 220 amps, so everything should be penetrated fine, and that's it. So I just wanted to figure out whether this was a reasonable design, and I don't expect you to commit to the car passing because obviously you can't see it in person, but I'd just like you to advise us if we can build the second one in the same manner. And that's it.
Just make sure I point out that gusset on this one here. So that one as well has a gusset, and this is the pipe.
All right, that was a good video revolving around tech related to a roll bar, a 6-point roll bar in CN or CP chassis. So some advice revolving around doing a roll bar design. What I would do is I would pick a bar based on the racing that you would like to do. Don't just go ahead and order a weld together cage and put in like a 12-point or something like that, or a top fuel type cage if you don't need that. Pick a sanctioning body, go through the rule book, and do the roll bar or roll cage to that spec, and do a little bit of planning. You don't want to overdo it because all of that metal does add weight to the car. It does add safety, but it also adds weight. Another thing to consider, pretty much any sanctioning body in North America is not going to tolerate a bolt-in cage. That's probably okay for autocross, things like that. Something to at least have a harness bar to have your harnesses pinned to, so that you don't have to worry about strapping them to the back seat and having spinal compression or anything like that in a collision. But overall, the bolt-in cages in North America are pretty much for looks. Over in Japan, they were allowing bolt-in cages for a lot of different series, but that's different. Basically, over here, you're going to have to weld your roll bar in most times. I'm not going to say all times, but most times you're going to have to weld it in, and then it's going to have to pass tech. So I would avoid going ahead and buying a bolt-in cage and assuming that it's going to pass tech in North America, because it is 99% of the chance unlikely to do so. So just save your money. So behind the scenes, to make these videos possible, I've taken on a sponsor, and that is AFR AutoWorks in Red Deer, Alberta. So if you guys want to support the channel and you want to support vendors that support this channel and help me make videos, head on over to AFR AutoWorks store, check out some of their promotional items, maybe buy a hat, some gear, and whatever purchases you make will come back on me and this channel and help support me make videos. So if you do like the channel and you do like the content, make sure you support the vendors and the sponsors that support me and my channel. So head on over to AFR AutoWorks store. Thanks. The other thing that you consider is that the weld-in cages do add to chassis rigidity. That is a big thing, and that's something that if you do a lot of roll bars and roll cages, do a lot of welding, and you do sort of before and after chassis tuning, suspension tuning in your car, you'll notice that the suspension in a car that has a weld-in main hoop, weld-in roll cage or roll bar, the suspension is doing a lot more work because there's a lot less flex there. So there is some good bonuses revolving around the suspension of your car once you add some rigidity with a weld-in cage. Now, I'm going to take you on a little ride in a hill climb car that I built. So this is going to be a Evo 4 doing a hill climb run. This is a slower run. This was just a qualifying run in a hill climb event that I did on the West Coast way back in 2017. And just so you can see some of the speeds, this isn't even going all out. This is like not fast at all. But take a look at the kind of things that you would deal with if you went off course in something like this. This is why you need safety equipment. Okay, so that gives you guys an idea of what kind of speeds and terrain you'd be dealing with if you went off course on something like a hill climb event. Now, there are hill climb events that are definitely more severe than that, thinking of like Pikes Peak, things of that nature. But this, more on the amateur end, but still lots of hazards there. Now, just to give you an idea, in that run, that Evo was equipped with fire suppression system. I was wearing a Hans device, full fire suit, down to like fireproof socks, fireproof underwear, a harness, as well straps to keep your hands in the vehicle during a rollover, those sorts of things. So if you are dealing with those kinds of speeds and those kinds of risks, obviously it's a fun sport and you have a blast, but you want to be able to walk away in the event of a crash. So I would advise you, again, what I said earlier in the video, take a look at a racing sanctioning body or an event that you'd like to race. Give a good read of the rule book and set your vehicle up appropriately. It'll save you a lot of money in the long run. And you know what? If you happen to be over safetied for some of the other events you do, then no big deal. Your car is just a little bit extra safe. So yeah, so have fun in your racing endeavors. I just wanted to touch on roll bars in this video, and I hope I provided you guys with a little bit of Evo specific information for your next car builds. All right guys, thanks for checking out the video today. So if you do like the videos that I put out, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to make sure that you get notified every time I put up a new video. And come check me out on Instagram at WrenchRapage. Have a good night.